What's up, guys? It's Lefty here, and I'm going to be doing a rundown of today's NFL schedule. I'm going to discuss a little bit of the market analysis using the live odds screen we see here on the screen. I'll throw in a little bit of game theory. I'm going to go pretty quick because it's getting late. Something to keep in mind when I discuss these games. I'm going to have an opinion on almost every game, but that doesn't mean I'm actually betting it. A like or a lean, is just an opinion. If I say I'm betting it, then I'm betting it. I just want to be clear on that. Time's ticking right now, though, so I'm going to get right into this. First game up, Miami-Buffalo. No surprise here. Buffalo is getting all the bets and money, 72% of the bets and 90% of the money, and Pinnacle just moved to 14.5. It's been sitting at 14 for the past few days, and it just crossed that key number. Double-digit division dog. It's the only way I could go in this one. Public's all over Buffalo. I said last night, if it got to 14.5, I'll likely be on Miami. Not sure if I'm going to actually place the bet yet, but if I get some balls, I might go Miami there. No real opinion on the total either. Next one up, going down the board here, Carolina, Atlanta. Atlanta. Not many people want anything to do with Carolina right now after 4 straight losses. Atlanta getting 62% of the bets, 77% of the money, and it did open 2.5, and it got to that key number of 3. I just hate Sam Darnold. I don't believe in him at all. Carolina's head coach Matt Rule, I'm a big fan of, and I like the move of him benching Darnold last week. Kind of gave him some time on the bench to watch the game. I really like this situation for Carolina. They looked awful last week. They've lost 4 straight. Atlanta's won 2 straight. I think we see a bounce back here for Carolina. I kind of always tend to look towards teams who are coming off bad performances, mainly because of public perception and recency bias. And in the NFL, week to week, a team is never as bad as their worst performance or, never as good as their best game. I have to believe the Panthers have the better defense here. It wasn't too long ago they had the number 1 defense. So I guess we're going to find out if Carolina's that 3-0 team, if that was a fluke, or if the last 4 games were a fluke on them. But I definitely lean strongly to Carolina here, getting the 3 points. Next game up, looking at Philly and Detroit. What do we got here? Market-wise, that's kind of what you want to see there with Philly. You want to see dollars over bets. So Philly's getting 39% of the bets on the spread and almost 70% of the money. This line hasn't really budged, though. And to be honest, I don't even know how Philly can be favored on the road against any team in the NFL, even if it's Detroit. I definitely lean the Lions here. If I can get 3.5, the Lions will be a bet at home here. Even though Goff can't really throw it past 15 yards. But, Detroit's winless. But they're playing good enough to have at least 1 or 2 wins. I don't think their 0-7 record reflects how they've been playing. But, yeah, this one's a definite for Lions. At home, catching more than a field goal. I'd like to get the 3.5. I'm going to have to shop around once I'm done this video. Next one up. Looking at Tennessee, Indy. This one's getting kind of a lot of activity as far as, it's got 50K bets. It's one of the more heavily bet games, which isn't a surprise. It's kind of a good divisional matchup. Now, I'm really high on the Colts. I'm expecting more action to come in on Tennessee. They've had some impressive wins, and the Colts are kind of flying under the radar. Public should be all over the Titans, I would think. But the line moved away from them. I discussed this game a little bit in the Discord community last night. Colts are getting healthier. Tennessee's not. They're missing Julio Jones. And the Colts have had a tough strength of schedule. So I don't really look too much into their 3-4 record all that much. It's a long season. Colts definitely have the advantage in the trenches. They're getting that kid Quentin Nelson back, their tackle. And Tennessee is primed for a letdown spot after a couple big wins. Now they go on the road in a dome. The Colts are a bet for me here for sure. And it probably would have been a best bet in the Discord community. Rich Moore beat me to the punch there, so I don't want to double up on it, But moving right along here, we got Rams. Yeah, Rams Houston. Another double-digit home dog. Yeah, Rams getting 65% of the bets, but only 40% of the money. Houston actually looks pretty good percentage-wise. That's kind of what you want to see is, 30, like less than 50% of bets, but more money. But the line has that, the 40% of money on the Rams has gotten respect on the line from 14.5 to 16.5. It's a 2-point move, but it's kind of really in that dead zone too, 15 and 16 aren't really, key numbers, but, I do, if I had to bet the game, I'm going double digit home dog. And it would probably be an actual bet for me if Tyrod Taylor was starting. I'm big on Tyrod Taylor. The total in this game is kind of interesting though. Sharps set this total up, I think. They over action hit the screen early. It moved it from the opener of 46 up to 48, I believe. And once it reached that 48, which is a key number, under action hit, and it brought it back down to the opener. So the under for me, checks out market analysis wise and actually game theory too, because, I kind of see the Texans playing like a grinded out type style game, trying to keep the possessions low for the Rams. When you're outmatched like that, oftentimes those teams will try to limit those possessions on the opposing teams. And I think even if the Rams do go up a couple scores, I see them kind of, letting their foot off the gas and shortening the game up a bit. So under is a strong lean there. I wish I could have got that 48, but it was only at 48 for, I don't know, a couple hours a few days ago. And I think the Sharps were looking to buy that game up and then come back under heavy. Next one up, what do we got here? Cincy, New York Jets. Cincy's getting a lot of the bets, but the money's only 50-50. So that's kind of alarming there when you see, Cincy's getting almost 80% of the bets, but why is the money only 50-50, So, but again, since he opened 8.5, it's crossed 10, it's at 11. So, the public isn't moving the line that much. There are some sharp dollars behind Cincy for that line move. It's too big of a line move, without sharp involvement. All the action on Cincy. The only way I could actually go on this one, though, is again, I'm a sucker for those double-digit dogs, especially at home. Long term, they're profitable. Not so much in recent years, but it's just double-digit home dogs I'm always going to look towards, and I don't think I'll ever lay double digits in the NFL on a favorite. Especially when you look at the total in this game, it's only 43. It makes each point more valuable. So if you're getting double digits with a total of 43, it's kind of correlated there between the dog. Since he's coming off a tough physical game against Baltimore, this is their third straight road game, I believe, and they got the Browns on deck, which is another divisional matchup. So I kind of see this as a letdown spot for Cincy this week. Cool stat in this game, if I can remember it correctly. Since 2003, I believe, there's only been 75 double-digit conference home underdogs, which you'd kind of think there would be more, but the double-digit dogs are profitable there. They're 44 and 31, if I remember correctly. Moving right along here. What do we got next? Pitt, Cleveland. Now, this is a game I looked at when the lines opened up last Sunday, and I knew Cleveland was going to get bet up. I almost bet them -3. Didn't pull the trigger. Kind of wish I did now, now that they're -4. But action's pretty much split as far as bets go, and Cleveland's getting 86% of the money, which is the highest money percentage on the board. And I like Cleveland here. I really do. I just can't take it at -4 now when I had the opportunity at -3. I still think they cover the 4, but I'm stubborn like that. If I miss a number that I was about to bet, I'm not going to take a worse number. Um, Sharp money definitely hit Cleveland at the opener at 3. Yeah, three wasn't around for too long too. It was pretty much 3.5 like by Monday night. Really like the Browns head coach Stefanski. He seems to have like good game plan, especially against the Steelers. They won the last 2 meetings. Browns offensive lines should be back at full strength. I think they're getting that right tackle back, Conklin. And from what I've seen from the Steelers, I haven't watched much football on the Steelers, to be honest. But Big Ben looks slow. He looks old. So I like the Browns here. And that's actually a bet for me in a contest. So technically I do have them at -3, but, those lines are stale. Like, they go by like a Monday line, but it's pretty much for a pick'em contest. But I haven't actually bet them for, on my accounts. What else? San Fran, Chicago. That's pretty much split. A little bit more action on San Fran with almost 60% of the bets. Money's pretty much split. No real opinion on this one. Bears offensive line is going to get this kid Fields killed. But the way he's looked right now, the Bears might be better off without him actually playing. But I got nothing here. San Fran's injury report's like a mile long too, so not sure what you're going to get from them. What do we got here? Jacksonville, Seattle. Seattle's getting most of the action here, but the money is pretty much split. Seattle opened 3. They're now at 4. I lean Jags here. I think it's a wrap for Seattle, to be honest. They're not making the playoffs, not in that division with, 2 one-loss teams ahead of them. And those are scary teams to back because you don't know their motivation. I could see, Seattle just mailing it in or throwing in the towel. Jags will at least give effort there. So lean Jags, but no way that's a play there. The Patriots. Okay, this one here, really tough game. And I'm really conflicted on this game too because, before the season started, I made future bets on both these teams to make the playoffs. I got both of them over their regular season win total of 9. Patriots are 3-4 right now, but 3 of their 4 losses are 1-score losses. And some of you guys in the Discord know how I feel about 1-score losses. They could just as easily be wins. Now, outside of the season opener against Miami, where the Patriots lost 17-16, I believe, the Patriots have losses to Tampa Bay, New Orleans, and Dallas. That's a combined opponent record of 15-4. Patriots, they're a weird team, and they basically break my power ratings because, with some of their metrics, they have a plus 39 point differential. The Chargers have a -2. But the Patriots played the Jets twice, and they're plus, I want to say, the Jets are plus 60. The Patriots are like plus 60 just against the Jets alone. So that definitely skews their point differential. 61, I think they are. They're plus 61 point differential just versus the Jets alone. And then you look at the Patriots' average points per game differential. They're plus 6. They're scoring 26 points per game, allowing 20 points per game. But they have a negative yards per point differential of -6. So I have no clue what to make of this team. I don't know if they're like super legit or if they're, just a 3-4 average team. But again, this game's pretty much a lose-lose for me. I got the Chargers to make the playoffs over 9 wins. Same with the Patriots. So I'd like for both of them to win, which isn't possible. All right, moving along here. Washington, Denver, not a game I'm really interested in. And Washington's a big disappointment for me this year. I had high hopes for them. I actually, bet them to win the division and embarrassingly enough, to win the conference at plus 4,000 to win the NFC. That is not looking good, but bets are pretty much split here. Denver is getting the majority of the money, 3.5 to 4 from opener to current. Doesn't really mean too much there. It's kind of that dead zone, but yeah, I don't know. I guess I lean Denver there. I don't get Washington this year. They go from having a top 3 defense to basically the worst defense, at least based on points allowed. Washington's allowed 210 points, which is the most in the league. Makes no sense to me. There's a couple teams that are mysteries to me. Miami's defense, they were good last year, forcing turnovers, and now they're just allowing friggin' 100 points a game. But yeah, that's the NFL there. All right. This is a good one. Tampa Bay, New Orleans. No surprise. Bucks are getting 70% of the bets and money. We got kind of what we call a line freeze here. When the line doesn't budge from open to current, and one team's getting lopsided bets or money, that tells me there's some resistance on New Orleans, maybe some sharp bets, and the books are holding firm or taking a position. They might have an opinion on it, and like the Saints, and I agree there. Again, I'm a sucker for these divisional home underdogs too. Whenever I can get a team that has the better defense at home and getting points, that's the side I'm going with. The Saints very well might be a play for me come 4 o'clock. We shall see. All right, last one up. We got Dallas, Minnesota, and Dallas, from what I hear, will be without Dak Prescott. He's a game-time decision, but from what I hear, he is not going to suit up. And yeah, Minnesota, I really like them here in this spot, especially from a market analysis. 40% of the bets, which we like. It's not the, heavily bet side. We're less than 50% on the bets, which makes it contrarian, which we do like. But they're getting 64% of the money. And, this line flip here from Dallas to -1 to Minnesota -2.5, and they were just -3, I believe. But that's related to the Dak news. But still, yeah, I bet the Vikings on the money line Thursday afternoon at -110. And it would have definitely been a best bet, but the line ran away a couple hours after, and it was like at 150 before I could even post it. I think it's going to be a bloody Sunday night for the betting public. Cowboys are 6-0 against the spread. They're America's team. Everyone's going to be chasing and likely pound Dallas, and I think the Vikings get it done. The sportsbooks have taken a beating the last couple weeks, and I think they'll probably get it all back in this game. Unless Dak's announced out, somewhat early, might get some people off them, but I could see Dallas getting the majority of the bets there. But that's going to do it for this one. Had some technical difficulties in the Discord trying to live stream. We'll get that fixed. Ideally, I'd like to be getting these type of videos up with enough time for everyone to watch them. But yeah, it's we're cutting it close here. Should be uploaded before 12 with an hour left for the 1 p.m. games. So good luck with all your bets today. And as always, may all the refs' calls and all